Come on, walk to the corner with me.
With the Lady of Suspense.
Ooh, I love the suspense.
Hello, this is author Michelle D Farrell, and I welcome you to my blog, well, whatever this is, welcome to it. And this is the first episode of the Suspense Corner. And today, since I've decided that since I've had this channel for a while now, and I've only been doing the book trailers, I said, well, let me put my face on there. Let's let people see what I look like. So here I am, and with the first video, we're going to do a countdown, and this countdown is the top 15 characters of the Melody Green mystery series. Melody Green has lots and lots of characters, and I decided to just chop it down to 15 of the characters that I enjoyed writing the most and giving the reasons why. Starting the countdown at number 15 is Andrew Lopez. Andrew Lopez was first introduced in book 2, which is Narcissistic Trance, and he was Ava's Tizianera date. And he was also in book 3, Firefly's Reprisal, as a love interest at that time because Ava and he had not become official at that point. But then by the time we get to Phantasmagoria, they're a full-blown couple and they cannot be without each other. And so I love his character because it shows that relationship between Ava and Andrew. Number 14 is Daniel Holt. Daniel is one of the main characters in the first book of Merciful Shock. He is a model, he's very arrogant, he's not a great guy, he's mean, and he's very sexist. And he had gotten into it with Melody and Denzel, and they kind of became not enemies, but they didn't like being around each other. However, because of his involvement in Merciful Shock, he was around a little bit against Melody's wishes. But Daniel was a fun character to write. Just to write somebody that's mean and nasty for no reason was kind of fun to me. Number 13, Adam Stevenson. Adam, he was first introduced in book 1 of Merciful Shock. Wasn't really a main character, but it was a character that was close to Melody, and it also he was also part of Melody as they were engaged at some point. And he gets like a bigger role in book 2 in Narcissistic Trance. And then in book 3, I'm not going to say what happened in book 3, but Adam is very important to the whole story because of the connection that Adam had with Melody. Number 12, Venus Green. Venus Green is Melody's uncle. Now, his name was mentioned in Merciful Shock in the first book, but that was basically it. But then he comes back in book 4 in Phantasmagoria. Now, with his character, I like writing him because the reader has no idea if Venus is a good guy or a bad guy. Even though he is Melody's uncle, we're expecting him to be a good guy. Maybe. Maybe not. We're just going to have to find out. Number 11 is Susan Yeager. Susan Yeager was introduced in book 1 of Merciful Shock. She was a co-worker of Melody, and that was at that point, that was as far as Melody and Susan's relationship went. They waved at each other when they saw each other in the hallways, and that was it. But as the series progressed, they became closer. They were not best friends, but they were very concerned for each other. And her character evolved through the books as well, because at first she was viewed as a wimpy lady that got dumped, and then the second book she was depressed, and because all of these things were happening to her in her love life. And by the time book 3 comes, Melody has stepped in to become a good friend for her and says, hey, let's get you back to normal. So that's why I liked Susan's character, because of the way that she evolved, and she also depended on Melody. Number 10, Richard Baxter. Richard is Melody's dad. In book 1, A Merciful Shock, he was barely mentioned because she didn't know who he was. She grew up not knowing that he was around. She didn't know if he was dead or alive. She just knew she didn't have a dad. By the time Narcissistic Trance pops up, he finds her, they talk, and he sees what type of situation that Melody is in at that time, so he hires all of these bodyguards to watch over Melody to make sure she's safe. So I enjoyed writing his character because he redeemed himself from being out of Melody's life, and he comes back and in a big way protects her in a way that she had never thought a father would or could. That's why he's my favorite. Number 9, Bloody Diablo. And bonus points if you can write Bloody Diablo's real name down in the comment section. But the reason why I enjoy writing Bloody Diablo's character is because he's one of those mystery characters to where you have no idea why he's doing the things that he's doing. Like, why is he killing all these people? For what? It makes no sense. Why is he designated as the leader of this crime circle? Makes no sense, but it all will come together towards the end of the series. But Bloody Diablo, because of his mysteriousness, that is why he's one of my favorites. Number 8, Black Rose. Black Rose was introduced in book 2 of Narcissistic Trance. She was one of the bodyguards that was hired by Richard Baxter to take care of Melody. She was not one of the bodyguards that sat on Melody's porch 24/7 in shifts. She was the one that if Melody had to go to the grocery store, she would call her and her partner, and they would go to the grocery store while they kept an eye open for the life clipper. But she, even though she was in this rough life with these people with checkered past, she wanted to get out, and Melody was got kind of soft on her and was wanting to, help her get out of what she was doing. But at the same time, Black Rose had to take care of Melody. Number 7, Reaper. Reaper is one of my favorites because he's the tough guy. He's the one that takes no mess from anyone. If he thinks that you're trying to hurt Melody, he will be the first one on you. Number 6, Thomas Denny. Thomas Denny was the guy that started all of this mess that Melody found herself in. He was the guy that was running away from a crime scene and got hit by a car, and Melody goes trying to help him, and he's speaking all these cryptic words, and she's not understanding what he's saying, but then he dies. But little did Melody know that the reason why he was running away from the crime scene that he was running away from was because he was responsible for what went down. I'm not going to say what went down, but he's one of my favorites because he's the one that got the story rolling. Number 5, Randy McConnell. Randy is my favorite because he is a personal character that I developed. Randy was Melody's model agent. and from when she modeled when she was younger, and she didn't have a father figure and he didn't have any kids, so they had a friendship that was, as Melody described, a match made in heaven. So he saw her as a daughter and she saw him as a dad. He passed away and then gave Melody his house in his will. So she always felt that he was around. And so when I was younger, I used to model, and my model agent's name was Randy. Although mine and Melody's reasons for being close to our agents weren't the same, mine is because my agent taught me how to model. And so I looked up to him and I miss him, you know, so just like Melody misses Randy. So that's why I enjoy writing about Randy. Number 4, Ava Rose Fernandez. Ava was one of my favorite characters because she is this teenage girl. She was quiet. She was, you know, smart. She kept to herself. She liked pretty things. You know, she was a teenager, had her cell phones and all the little things that teenagers have. But somehow, and I'm not going to say how, she gets wrapped up with Melody, and she finds herself in situations to where she had to grow up a little bit. She had to hide. She had to learn how to keep her eye open at all times. She also got involved with some crime circle situation where her friends were being kidnapped, so she had to, her character is very fun. She's now very adventurous and she's a tough girl now, so that's why she's one of my favorites. Number 3, Denzel Roberts. Denzel is one of my top favorite characters because he's smooth, he's suave, you know, he's got this way about him that he knows he's cool, you know. So, and then he's also Melody's best friend, and they've been in each other's lives since they were toddlers, so they've got this little rapport together that only they know how to do them. And that's why Denzel, the smooth guy, is one of my favorites. Number 2, the Life Clipper. The Life Clipper was probably one of my favorite. Oh my goodness. Writing this character was hard because I kept that identity from who the Life Clipper is from everybody. No one knew, not even the people that were reading my books as I was writing them, had no clue who the Life Clipper was. They didn't know if the Life Clipper was male or female, and I'm not going to let you know now either because there's a chance that you may not know who the Life Clipper is, and I'm not going to ruin it for you. But keeping that character under wraps while doing the things that they were doing was fun. It was fun to write, to keep that mystery only I knew the answer to. And number 1, my most favorite character ever in the Melody Green series is not Melody Green. I'm joking. It is Melody Green. Melody is my favorite because she's not me. I'm not Melody. I wish I was Melody, but she is very close and similar to my personality, to where she'll say things that's on her mind. She's very sweet, but she can be kind of, you know, she'll tell you about yourself if she has to. She's also the character that is not shy, and when she gets this feeling in her gut, she goes after it until it makes sense to her. So I really enjoyed building her character because beginning with book 1, you know, she was just an everyday mill girl until now where we're at book 5, you know, she's running along trying to figure out what's going on with these crime circles. So Melody's development is something that I'm very proud of. I love Melody. She's a cool girl. And that's my top 15. If you haven't read the Melody Green series, why haven't you, first and foremost? Secondly, you can look into the description below and you can find the links to the books. First book is Melody Green, Merciful Shock. This is book 1. This is the story that starts it all. Book 2 is Melody Green, Narcissistic Trance. This is the continuation of book 1. Book 3 is Melody Green, Fireflies Reprisal. This is the end of that first story that's in Melody Green's perspective. And so this wraps up the story of books 1, 2, and 3. This is my favorite. Then we have book 4, which is Ava Rose Phantasmagoria. This starts a new storyline with Ava being the main character. So you're reading things from her point of view. So, and there's also book 5. Book 5 will be available and out in March of 2021. This is the continuation of the storyline with Ava. This is also the book with bloody Diablo in. So I want to thank you so much for watching my video, and if you haven't, please hit subscribe, and I'll see you later.